Have you ever noticed that as people get older, they start waking up at 3 a.m., wide awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering why sleep just won't stay? Maybe this has happened to you. You lie there in the quiet darkness, questioning if it's stress, your body, or just a part of aging. But here's the truth. It's not random, and it's not just getting older. There's a reason behind this mysterious 3 a.m. wake-up call, and it's more powerful than you think. In this video, we're uncovering 5 surprising reasons why older adults tend to wake up at this exact time, and what it might be trying to tell you about your body, your health, and even your emotions. These aren't just common sleep struggles. They're deeply connected to changes happening within you, physically, mentally, and even spiritually. And by the end of this video, you might never look at your sleep the same way again. So, if you've ever found yourself awake at 3 a.m., wondering what's going on, stick around. Because what you're about to learn won't just help you sleep better, it might just help you understand your body and your life in a whole new way. Now, let's start with the first reason, one that affects nearly every aging adult but is rarely talked about. Reason number 1, decreased melatonin production. One of the biggest reasons why older adults wake up in the middle of the night, especially around 3 a.m., is because of a natural drop in melatonin. Melatonin is your body's sleep hormone, the chemical that signals to your brain that it's time to rest. When you were younger, your body produced plenty of it, keeping you in deep, uninterrupted sleep. But as you age, melatonin levels start to decline, and that can change everything. You might still fall asleep easily at night, especially if you've had a long day. But as the early morning hours creep in, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., your melatonin levels drop too low to keep you in that deep, restful state. And just like that, you're awake. Not because of a noise or a dream, but because your brain is already shifting back toward wakefulness. But here's something most people don't realize. This melatonin drop doesn't just affect your sleep. It can also mess with your mood, your energy levels, and even how your body handles stress. That's why these early morning wake-ups can leave you feeling anxious or restless, even if you don't know why. So, what can you do? While you can't stop melatonin from decreasing with age, you can support your body's natural rhythms. Getting sunlight during the day, avoiding screens before bed, and creating a relaxing nighttime routine can help signal your body to produce more melatonin naturally. And while some people turn to melatonin supplements, they only work if taken correctly. Too much or at the wrong time can actually make things worse. But here's the thing. Melatonin is just one piece of the puzzle. There's another hidden reason why you might be waking up at 3 a.m., and it's something that goes beyond just your sleep hormones. In fact, it might be affecting more than just your nights. It could be influencing your entire health. Let's get into it. Your body isn't failing, it's simply evolving. As you age, your internal chemistry changes, and with it, your sensitivity to the environment increases. Even small things, like a dim light from a street lamp filtering through the curtains, the glow of a digital clock on your nightstand, or a sliver of light under the door, can have a bigger impact on your sleep than they used to. These tiny disturbances may not have bothered you years ago, but now, they can suppress melatonin even further, making that frustrating 3 a.m. wake-up even more common. Take Harold, for example. At 72, he always considered himself a great sleeper, until recently. Nearly every night, like clockwork, he finds himself wide awake at 3:15 a.m. He's not anxious or tossing and turning, just fully alert, as if it's morning already. At first, he thought something was wrong. But once he learned this was a natural part of aging tied to melatonin, everything changed. Instead of blaming himself, he made small adjustments. He darkened his bedroom, avoided screens an hour before bed, and started taking a short evening walk to strengthen his natural sleep cycle. These tiny shifts sent a stronger signal to his body that it was still nighttime. And while he still wakes up early sometimes, he's learned to work with his body instead of against it. This kind of understanding is a game changer. When you realize that waking up early isn't a failure, but a natural biological shift, you stop resenting it. Instead, you take steps to support your sleep in smarter ways. And that's the power of awareness. It turns frustration into self-care, helping you make better choices to improve your rest. Reason number 2. Shifted sleep cycle and advanced sleep phase. Another major reason why older adults wake up around 3 a.m. has to do with the shift in the body's internal clock, a phenomenon known as advanced sleep phase syndrome. As you age, your circadian rhythms start to move forward, meaning you feel sleepy earlier in the evening and naturally wake up earlier in the morning. Have you ever noticed yourself dozing off during a late-night movie or waking up before sunrise without an alarm, even when you want to sleep in? This isn't just a random habit, it's biology at work. When you were younger, your body's sleep rhythm was likely synced with a later bedtime and a morning wake-up aligned with the sun. But as you age, this rhythm shifts forward. Without even realizing it, you might start falling asleep at 9 p.m. or even earlier, which means by the time 3 a.m. rolls around, your body thinks it's had a full night's rest. That's why you may wake up feeling strangely alert, even though it's still the middle of the night. But here's where it gets tricky. If you try to force yourself back to sleep, it can actually make things worse, leading to frustration, restlessness, or tossing and turning until morning. So what can you do? The key is to gently nudge your sleep cycle back into balance. Simple habits, like exposing yourself to more daylight in the evening, staying active later in the day, and adjusting your nighttime routine, can help shift your internal clock in a way that works for you, not against you. And here's something even more surprising. Your shifting sleep cycle isn't just affecting your nights. It could be influencing your energy, your mood, and even your brain function in ways you might not expect. In the next section, we'll dive into how this hidden connection could be shaping more than just your sleep. Stay with me. This is about to get even more interesting. Natural response to physical discomfort and health-related interruptions, things that become more noticeable as we age. But before we dive into that, let's clear something up. Waking up at 3 a.m. doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Your body isn't broken. It's just operating on a different schedule now, like a clock that's been gradually ticking ahead over the years. This shift isn't harmful, but it can be frustrating, especially if your lifestyle, family routine, or personal preferences don't match this new rhythm. And here's something that often goes unnoticed. There's a psychological side to this change too. Many older adults find themselves in quieter environments, either living alone or in more peaceful households. Without the constant noise and activity that once pushed bedtime later, things like work schedules, family obligations, or social events, your body naturally starts shutting down earlier in the evening. If you're no longer working full-time or sticking to a strict daily routine, you might not even realize that the absence of time cues, like meetings, commutes, or late-night socializing, is reinforcing this shift even more. Take Charles, for example. He's 68 and retired, and his evenings follow a predictable pattern: dinner at 5:30 p.m., an hour of TV, and then bed by 9 p.m. By 3 a.m., his body thinks it's had a full night's rest, so he wakes up feeling perfectly alert. At first, he worried that he had insomnia, but once he learned about advanced sleep phase, everything clicked. His sleep wasn't broken, it had simply rescheduled itself. So, what did he do? Instead of fighting it, he made small but meaningful changes. He started staying up just a little longer, reading a book under warm light, taking a short evening walk, and even calling his daughter for a quick chat before bed. These subtle social and sensory cues stretched his sleep window just enough to push his wake-up time a little later. And the result? Fewer 3 a.m. wake-ups and a stronger sense of alignment with his daily life. This natural shift in sleep cycles is something many older adults experience, yet few talk about. But understanding it removes the guilt, the frustration, and the confusion. Instead of feeling like you're constantly battling your own body, you can work with it, making small adjustments that improve your sleep without stress. Now, before we move on to the next reason, I want to hear from you. If this is resonating with you, drop a number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button and turn on notifications so you never miss our videos. Your support helps us continue creating content to inform, inspire, and empower you. Now, let's move forward. Reason number 3. Physical discomfort and health-related interruptions. Another big reason older adults wake up around 3 a.m. is the body's response to physical discomfort, something that becomes more noticeable with age. And here's the thing. It's not just about pain. It's about subtle, everyday changes in your muscles, joints, and overall health that could be disrupting your sleep without you even realizing it. Signals are your body's way of communicating its needs. It's not failing you, it's talking to you, and if you listen closely, you can learn how to work with it instead of feeling frustrated by those 3 a.m. interruptions. As we get older, subtle health issues have a way of surfacing in the quiet hours of the night. They don't always come with blaring alarms. Instead, they creep in softly. A stiff joint, a full bladder, or a sudden twinge in your back. And just like that, your deep sleep is interrupted. Take arthritis, for example. If you've ever woken up feeling sore or stiff, it might not be random. Lying in the same position for hours can make joint pain worse. You may not notice it when you first fall asleep, but after a few hours of stillness, those aches build up just enough to nudge you awake. For others, nighttime acid reflux is the culprit, especially if dinner was a little too late or you reclined too soon after eating. A burning sensation in the chest, a little discomfort in the throat, just enough to pull you out of sleep. Even something as seemingly minor as dry mouth, muscle cramps, or a slight drop in room temperature can send subtle wake-up calls to your brain. And in the early morning hours, when your body is more sensitive and less forgiving than it used to be, these little things can feel big. One of the most common reasons older men wake up at 3 a.m.? The need to urinate. The bladder loses elasticity with age, which means the urge to go comes on faster and more frequently. During the day, distractions help keep it at bay, but at night, in a dark, quiet room, that sensation becomes impossible to ignore. And once you get up, even just for a quick trip to the bathroom, your body shifts from deep rest to light alertness. And now, falling back asleep feels like a battle. And here's something many people overlook: medications. If you take medicine for blood pressure, heart health, or pain management, side effects could be playing a role in your sleep patterns. Some meds increase urination. Others mess with body temperature or make you more sensitive to noise and light. And unless you're paying close attention, you might not even realize they're affecting your rest. That's exactly what happened to Eleanor, a 76-year-old woman who always considered herself a light sleeper. Over the past year, she started waking up like clockwork, 3:30 a.m. every night. At first, she thought, well, I guess this is just part of aging. But after months of restless nights, she finally spoke with her doctor. Turns out, one of her medications was affecting her hydration levels, leading to more frequent nighttime bathroom trips. With her doctor's help, she adjusted the timing of her dose, made a few small lifestyle changes, and now she wakes up far less often. And when she does wake up, she's able to fall back asleep much more easily. The important thing to remember is that these wake-ups aren't a sign that your body is breaking down. Quite the opposite. They're signs that your body is responding, adjusting, and doing its job. And once you understand what's happening, you can start making changes that help you work with your body instead of feeling frustrated by it. Before we move on, let me know if this resonates with you by commenting number 3 below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Your support helps us continue bringing you the insights you need to improve your sleep and overall well-being. Now, let's keep going. Reason number 4. Emotional and psychological pattern sleep window back, allowing him to stay asleep longer into the morning. He didn't have to make dramatic changes, just small intentional tweaks that signaled to his body that nighttime wasn't quite so early. This is something many people don't realize. Your habits quietly shape your sleep pattern. And sometimes it's not aging itself that's causing those 3 a.m. wake-ups. It's the little lifestyle shifts that sneak in over time. For example, if you eat dinner at 5 p.m. and don't have a light snack before bed, your blood sugar might dip overnight. You might not feel hungry, but your body notices. That subtle drop can be enough to lightly wake you up, even if you don't realize why. And let's talk about caffeine. Many people assume that as long as they're not drinking coffee at night, they're fine. But did you know that caffeine can linger in your system for 6 to 8 hours? As your metabolism slows with age, that afternoon, coffee or tea might be just enough to make your sleep lighter. Which means when something small wakes you up at 3 a.m., you stay awake longer than you used to. This was exactly what happened to Walter. At 74, his days became quieter, his evenings more relaxed, and his schedule shifted earlier, without him even realizing it. He started eating dinner at 5 p.m., nodding off during the evening news, and heading to bed before 9 p.m. And what happened next? His wake-up time moved earlier too. At first, he was frustrated. Why am I waking up at 3 a.m. every night? But when he took a closer look at his habits, the answer became clear. With a few simple adjustments, adding a short afternoon walk, keeping his evening lights a little brighter, and avoiding naps after dinner, Walter gently pushed his sleep schedule back. Within a few weeks, he was sleeping longer into the morning, and those 3 a.m. wake-ups became far less frequent. So, if you find yourself waking up before dawn, ask yourself, has your daily routine changed over the years? Do you eat dinner earlier? Do you spend your evenings in dim light, winding down sooner? Have you cut back on activity during the day? These small shifts matter more than you might think. And remember, the goal isn't to fight against your body, it's to work with it. When you understand how your habits influence your sleep, you can start making small, smart changes that help you rest better. If you're still with me, drop a number 4 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Now, let's keep going. Reason number 5. The emotional and psychological connection to 3 a.m. wake-ups. Wrong with her sleep, but then she realized this was her mind's way of processing emotions she hadn't had time to sit with during the day. It wasn't insomnia, it was grief, reflection, and the natural unfolding of a life well lived. This kind of emotional wakefulness is more common than most people think. As we get older, our minds no longer have the same daily noise and distractions to keep thoughts at bay. In youth, stressors are often about work, family obligations, or the future. But in later years, the stress shifts. It becomes more about meaning, memories, and the passage of time itself. And while this can feel unsettling, it can also be an invitation. Waking up at 3 a.m. doesn't have to be a curse. It can be a quiet space for self-awareness, reflection, and even healing. The key is how you respond to it. Some people, like Gloria, find comfort in journaling. Instead of lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, she started keeping a notebook by her bedside. When she wakes up with a racing mind, she writes down whatever is circling in her thoughts. Others turn to meditation or deep breathing, simple techniques that allow the mind to settle rather than spiral. And then, of course, there's the power of connection. A short phone call with a loved one before bed, a gratitude practice, or even listening to calming music can help shift the emotional energy that often wakes us up in the middle of the night. But the most important thing to remember is this: waking up at 3 a.m. doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It might just mean you're human, processing life, memories, and emotions in the only quiet space your mind has left. So the next time you find yourself awake in the stillness of the night, instead of fighting it, try listening to it. What is your mind trying to tell you? What emotions are asking for your attention? Sometimes the best way to get back to sleep is to make peace with whatever is keeping you awake. If you've related to this, drop a number 5 in the comments and let me know. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Now, let's wrap things up and talk about what you can do moving forward to improve your sleep and embrace these changes with ease. See them as invitations to adjust, to listen, to nurture yourself in new ways. So, if you've been waking up in the early morning hours, maybe it's time to shift the way you see it. Is it a sign that your body needs a new rhythm, a cue to care for your health differently, or maybe a moment for reflection, a gentle reminder of the life you've lived and the wisdom you carry? Whatever the reason, know this: you're not alone. This is a shared experience, one that connects countless people in ways we rarely talk about. And the good news? There are always steps you can take to improve your sleep, support your body, and embrace this stage of life with grace and understanding. So the next time you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., take a deep breath. Instead of frustration, try curiosity. Instead of resistance, try listening. Maybe it's your body adjusting, your mind processing, or your heart simply asking for a little more attention. You're not alone in this experience. Waking up in the middle of the night isn't just a sign of aging. It's a reflection of the way your body and mind continue to evolve. And with that evolution comes an opportunity to rest more intentionally, to care for yourself more gently, and to embrace this stage of life with wisdom and understanding. If today's insights resonated with you, let us know in the comments. What's one thing you learned, and how will you use it in your own life? Your voice matters, and we love hearing from you. Before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to get more stuff.